Hi, my name is Andreas Papaidis, and I'm a policy expert at the Supervisory Convergence Unit of the European Banking Authority. In this video, you will learn about what Fintech actually means and why it is growing, its potential impact and effects on banking. So, what is Fintech and why is it growing? I'm sure you've recently come across a number of fancy and tech keywords like cloud computing, blockchain, artificial intelligence, big data, and many others, which all fall under the wider umbrella of Fintech. But what is Fintech? Well, Fintech stands for financial technology. It is used to describe technologically enabled financial innovation that could affect the financial industry. While technological innovation in financial services is not new, we have witnessed significant growth in the recent years, both in terms of the pace of its development and the investments in the area of technology. Around 61% of European banking executives view investments in technology as very important. But why this is happening now? Let's sum up the three main reasons. First, the financial technology infrastructure created through the technological developments over the last 5 decades. Secondly, the significant socioeconomic trends and demographic shifts in the population, where consumers are now seeking easy access and speed. A clear example of this trend is consumers' online purchases, which according to the European Commission increased by 88% from 2008. And lastly, banks' motivation to seek more ways to increase revenues and reduce costs in a strict regulatory environment. All this brought to life a new generation of companies which aim at the heart of the industry, from payments to wealth management, from peer-to-peer lending to cloud computing. A new ecosystem has been formed as a result of Fintech, with a number of key players. Now, how does it affect banking? There is a positive interest from all banks on what Fintech can bring in to transform financial services and ultimately increase revenues and profits. This also follows banks' increased spending on IT and digital transformation. In 2017, European banks are projected to spend more than 62 billion euros on IT. We are seeing banks approaching Fintech in a number of ways. Investing in Fintech companies, either through venture capital investments or direct acquisitions. Partnering with Fintech companies in an effort to share knowledge and transform their business. Developing in-house specialized teams for testing new technologies. Collaborating with other banks and forming consortia to develop and test new technologies. While more than 6.8 billion euros have been invested in European fintech companies since 2010, fintech developments remain fluid, with uncertain impact on banks and their business models. Fintech involvement comes with a number of challenges, which seem to raise concerns to banks, with the potential opportunities to look quite appealing. So, on the challenges side, banks are currently not as agile and flexible as the new fintech companies, mainly due to their IT legacy systems and the strict regulatory environment in which they operate. Future threat to banks' pricing and profit margins due to fintech taking away frictions in the market. New technologies may facilitate market manipulation and other unfair practices, increasing the importance of consumer and personal data protection. A number of potential opportunities also appear to exist, such as the potential to lead to greater efficiencies and capabilities through the adoption of productivity-enhancing technologies, improvement of processes, reduction in costs. Technological innovation can give rise to new services and business models, resulting to greater diversification of revenue sources. Partnering with fintech companies may allow banks to expand and grow at much faster rates in adapting to the digital world. This could in turn help fintech companies to benefit from a larger client database provided by the banks. Partnering with fintech companies may allow banks to expand and grow at much faster rates in adapting to the digital world. This could in turn help fintech entities to benefit from a larger client database provided by the banks, which could result in a win-win situation. What could regulators and supervisors do? In an effort to support innovation and ultimately promote effective competition, a number of regulatory initiatives have been seen across the EU through the establishment of regulatory sandboxes, which can be thought of as testing environment open to both financial and non-financial entities. Innovation hubs, where direct support is provided to innovator businesses. Fintech accelerators, which work in partnership with entities to explore how fintech could be used in central banking. Nevertheless, there is a demand from supervisors as different skills are needed for ICT supervision and technical support to adequately scrutinize new fintech activities. One solution could be investment in training and skill set, as well as the exchange of knowledge with international supervisors on innovation and its impacts. From a regulatory perspective, regulators need to understand how new services fit into existing regulations, while having in mind that current regulatory practices may hinder fintech progress. For example, fintech revolution will have implication on data protection and privacy rules, as customers' data is now exposed as never before to fraudulent activities and cybersecurity risks, especially when knowing that every minute about 500,000 attack attempts are seen to be happening in cyberspace. Let's now summarize the key points from today. First of all, technological innovation appears to be changing the financial industry and the way customers access financial services. Secondly, fintech revolution gives rise to new services and business models. Thirdly, so far, banks are embracing financial technology and strategically investing in it. However, the impact on the current banking landscape is not yet well defined. What will the EBA be doing in the fintech area? In its role to improve the functioning of the internal market, the EBA intends to carry out a follow-up work in a number of areas affected by fintech, as these are set out in the EBA Fintech discussion paper. For further information, stay tuned with the EBA publications, which you can follow through our website, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Thanks a lot for your attention.